Hello there. What's going on, everyone? We finally got our Republic and Separatist Specialists articles last night from Fantasy Flight Games. So this Fantasy Flight is still putting out articles, and I imagine they will probably still do so until all of the announced product and the product in the pipeline is probably exhausted and put out by Fantasy Flight Games. So we're going to kind of run through all of the stuff that came out. I'll give you my initial thoughts, some of the stuff we knew about, some of the stuff we didn't know about. If you are new here, don't forget to click that subscribe button, leave a comment. That's going to automatically enter you to win the $25 Amazon gift card, and I have those giveaways running all the time. That's all it takes to enter to win those, is just make sure you're a subscriber and leave a comment. Although sometimes I'll do special giveaways also on social media. So if you want to check any of those links down in the description, you can hop in my Discord or check me out on social media. Check out my website, merch store. All those links, they're all down there. So our Republic Specialists are going to come with these beautiful 4 clones. And I especially love that commander there holding the little hologram. That's a very, very cool one. So I'm excited to check these guys out. I love the paint jobs here for the demos. Clones are probably some of my favorite dudes to paint. They end up looking really, really cool. So I'm looking forward to checking these guys out. Our clone commander is maybe the least impressive out of all of this for me personally, and I'll talk about why. But I did guess right on some of the keywords, although I thought it was going to be more on the droid commander and less on this guy. So this guy's going to be at 55 points. He's going to have command, training, and gear. He's going to have 2 red dice for advanced combat training for melee, 3 black dice with range 1 to 3 for his DC 15. So he's got a fairly decent little ranged attack. Like most other clones, he is not going to have any kind of surge. He does have speed 2. He does count as a clone trooper, and that's kind of a big deal. Red defense die, 4 health, and 2 courage. He is a commander. So he's not terrible. Pretty decent all around at 55 points. Not too bad. It's not that much cheaper than Rex, though, and that's kind of why I feel like this guy's not all that great. But he does have Sharpshooter 1, which is a nice ability to have, especially when you're shooting at suppressed targets. He has the ability Direct for a clone trooper unit. And during the command phase, you may issue an order to a friendly core clone trooper unit at range 1 to 2. So right now, this basically just means a phase 1 or phase 2 clone trooper. You get to give them a free order. So this is going to work, I think, pretty well with builds that want to use fire support. And that's kind of, I think, one of the good things about this one. I feel like he's going to work well in builds wanting to use fire support. I can see I've got some kind of ideas formulating involving maybe some vehicles, and then this guy to have that cheaper commander and make use of some of the new command cards. We're going to take a look at those also. And he has Bolster, which is an action kind of like how Leia and Veers had abilities to exhaust to give out some tokens. He can give out tokens too. He's going to give 2 friendly units at range 1 surge tokens. Now surge usually aren't as necessarily as good as a dodge or an aim, but considering that clones get to share them and don't have access to any type of surges, surge tokens work pretty darn good for clones. So this is a nice little ability, especially if you're not running that many phase 2 clones. It's a nice manufactured way to be able to get some surge tokens out on the board. We are going to get a look at the clone commander. We're going to have 4 actual unit cards that can go as personnel into our existing units. Now, the cool thing about this particular expansion is that these can go into any of your core options that happen to be clone troopers. So if they, it does say clone trooper only, so you're not going to be able to put a clone commando with if we get, some kind of Gungans or something like that. But for all future clone options that can take personnel, which is usually just core, you're going to be able to put this clone commander on there. He's going to be 20 points. He's going to be a leader. Re-leader. My eyes were looking at reliable 1, and I said leader. But yeah, he's going to give you Inspire 1, which is always a nice option, and Reliable 1, so you're going to gain a Surge token. It's almost like he becomes a Phase 2 clone, but he does not increase your Courage value. So he is actually, I think he's going to be pretty good in a Phase 2 unit. Because now all of a sudden you'll have Inspire to kind of help out the other folks. You become a leader, and then you'll have Reliable 2, which is really nice. So I kind of like him better in a Phase 2 clone unit, especially since the Phase 1s have a different leader option already that gives them training. So I like this guy for the Phase 2s. Also, generally, any of the personnel that can go in Phase 1 or Phase 2s, I already am prejudiced against them to put them in Phase 2s first because it's more expensive. So you're getting technically a more valuable mini out of your investment, kind of. It kind of depends on how you want to look at it, but that's the way I kind of look at it right now. The Clone Comms Technician, this one is going to be a little bit cheaper at only 12 points. And but the nice thing about this is that you do get to put a comm on your unit, just like really no difference here than the way it functionally works for the Rebels and the Empire. You're going to be able to get a comm upgrade, and you must equip a comm upgrade. This one is particularly good for HQ uplinks, so you can give yourself an order. Again, also good with things like with fire support. But also combos well into other things. If you're looking to have take that clankers as one of those cards that can potentially, you want a lot of guys with face-up order tokens. HQ uplink is another way to get HQ uplinks into your clone list, and I think there's a lot of value in that. So I think this guy will have some definite play. But again, I'll probably lean a little bit more towards this being into a Phase 2 unit more than a Phase 1 unit. But it can work equally well in both. Or virtually equally well. We got the Clone Engineer. This is our repair dude. This is who's going to help your tanks out, help your ATRTs and stuff like that. But it's also really good to getting rid of that ion token or that vehicle damage. If they get your big gun, you can be like, hey, I'm going to take that off. Or if you get ioned and you're like, I'm going to lose an action on this, I can take it off. The big difference between this and some of our other repair type units that we've seen in the past is that it's only got capacity 1. You're only going to be able to repair 1 time, whereas the other ones were 2. But the other difference is that it's not a non-combatant. So this Clone Engineer also can shoot, and that's kind of a big deal. That's one of the things that kind of makes these clone guys stand out. The same thing goes for the Medic. You're going to have, and this one will probably be taking a lot more. This is going to be the bomb.com. And I think everybody's going to want to take clone medics all the time as much as they can. And by the way, that artwork, look at that. That is so good. Oh my goodness. This is maybe my favorite clone design and clone artistry. Look, both of them, they're like, I will heal you, and then I will shoot the bad guys. And it's like he's about to pull out his nunchucks right behind it. He probably doesn't have nunchucks, but he should. He absolutely should. So treat 1, capacity 1. He's only going to be able to heal 1 time, but that's awesome on clones. That's awesome on healing your Jedi too, for example. But you're probably going to want to get a lot of these. I'm thinking the clone medic looks awesome. Oh man, it looks really cool. I'm intimidated. This art looks so good. I'm like, I hope I can paint him that good. Oh, it looks like he's got a little red cross kind of on the shoulder too, right? Oh, that's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really cool. All right, I'm excited about this guy. And we got our generic command cards. This is a big deal because not just if you want to run a generic commander, but also if you want to do the whole field commander stuff, you want to have Ayla Secura and you want to run the tank and without any commander at all and just run field commander, now you've got the cards to be able to do that, right? Once this comes out. This is coming out in 3 weeks, folks. 3 more weeks we're getting this thing. So stay tuned. I will be doing unboxings and taking a look at the models and showing you everything that comes in here. Yes, the synchronized offensive is going to be Republic only for just a vehicle. And after you issue a vehicle in order, you also get to issue an order to a clone trooper 1 to 2. Really, really nice that a 1 pip is going to give out 2 orders. I love this one. It's also very nice for fire support. Hey, you want an ATRT to shoot and get that surge to hit and then have a Z6 unit be able to fire support into it? Boom! No problem. Right? Plus, it's a 1 pip. It means you're probably going first. This actually would make for a really nice opening play. One of the new cards we got previewed is Air Support. It's a 2 pip, and this is for a commander or a heavy. And I think this is the idea here for the heavy is that this is for your field commander. So once this round, at the end of the activation of a friendly commander, clone trooper unit, or a friendly field commander unit, it may perform an attack using the following weapon. Boom. Beam 2, immune to deflect, and range 4. So it's that kind of infinite range, that super long range that Veers and Leia had. But the interesting thing is the only people that are going to be able to use this attack is a commander clone trooper unit, which is the generic clone here, or currently also, I believe, Rex would be able to call in air support. or your Ayla Secura field commander, right, in a tank would be able to use this. So this one isn't really able to go in just about every list. It can go in some lists, but it can't go in every list. So, well, I mean, you can still use it, but you're not going to get the benefit of it, which is that it's a 2-pip that's only issuing one unit, one order. So, like this one, it's all right, and it can be cool. Like, look, beam 2, you get to do that beam attack. And the beam attack repeats the same attack. So this is actually, you're going to be able to do 3 dice and then 3 dice again and potentially 3 dice again. So you could roll 9 dice with this, which is kind of cool. And they get to perform that attack. So if I think this might be really good for anybody that's got Surge to Crit like Rex does. Be pretty nice. So yeah, I'm kind of digging that. Man, they may perform that. But beam, you can't fire support on a beam attack. So, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure you can. And we get Attack of the Clones. It almost looks like we got some generic Jedi Knights on there. I wonder if that's a hint that we'll eventually see generic Jedi Knights. I would love that. But 3-pip Attack of the Clones, 3 clone troopers. Not quite as good as Rex's 3-pip, which is 4 clone troopers, but 3 clone troopers, Republic only, like these all 3s are. When a unit is issued an order using this card, it either gains 1 surge token or removes 1 suppression token. So you're not gonna. It's not like when a unit is issued an order, like HQ uplinks and other relay effects aren't going to work here. But for the 3 clones, they can get a surge token or remove a suppression. Removing a suppression is a big deal, and having the option to do that is cool because there are plenty of times you don't want that dude to panic off the board, or you don't want somebody to lose an action, so you have them take away the suppression now, so they're guaranteed to get their 2 actions. But if at any time you don't need that, you just give them the Surge instead. Surge is great, and they can share Surge. So this is actually, I think, a very good card. You're always, right now, in 100% of Republic builds, you're going to have 3 clone troopers minimum. So I think this is a great card to take. I can see this one going in many, if not almost all, Republic builds, with the exception of the ones that are trying to run like lots of named characters. So yeah, really good card here. I like this one. We also got a preview of the Separatist specialists, and I'm going to combine both of these into one video. We'll run through, because the second half will go a little faster, because there's not as many differences. A lot of these minis are, while they're kind of, they're symmetric, even though they're for a different faction, there's a lot of things that are very similar, like Bolster 2 on the T-Series Tactical Droid and Direct Droid Trooper Unit. Now, interesting thing here is that I had predicted that this would be Direct B1 Battle Droid, and this can be any droid trooper unit. So while you can use this guy to start your chain of B1 battle droids, you could also use him to just issue one to a B2. Maybe because you're going to play a command card anyway. Maybe you play a command card, start your chain on your own, but you wanted to run multiple B1s. And so basically, Direct is going to be just like Entourage, with the exception is you don't get the extra guy in your army, so you're not going to be able to run 7 core. But it does let you issue that order. So if you wanted to run maybe 2 of these behind a couple of and you maybe wanted to run like 3 B1s and 3 B2s, you'd have your chain working fine. You could issue an order to one of the B1s each time. They would end with giving it to one of the the B2s, and then these 2 guys could, if you run 2 of those, they could each give orders to the B2s. You'd never have to worry about AI, and then free to do your own stuff. He's also going to be 55 points. He's got Sharpshooter 1. He's got that red and white. So while he has no surge also, he has better die built into him at range 3. He has no AI himself, which is nice, by the way. That's nice. And he's got, leadership command comm and gear. Only a white die for melee. No surge speed 2. White defense die. 4 courage 2. 4 health, 2 courage. But the big thing about this guy, the biggest takeaway, is not the direct droid trooper unit. Well, that's nice. The biggest takeaway is this is a cheap commander for the Separatists. This is what Separatist players have been waiting for, to have some options, to play around with some things, to do some different stuff. We've been really waiting for a card like this, and I think it's really cool to be able to do this. Now I can, like, once I get this, I can now be like, all right, now I want to play around with tanks a little bit more, Granted, the field commander rule kind of lets you do that, but I still didn't have enough command cards to fill it out. So this expansion will also do that. But now, also, since Darth Maul came out, the only way to run Maul has been with another expensive commander. And maybe I want to run Maul, with a cheap commander, or maybe I want to recreate Naboo. A lot of that army, I can kind of really try and do that with something like this, although I don't think you actually saw this guy on Naboo, but you know, if you want all droids on the ground, you can kind of do that now. You know, with Darth Maul, because he was on the ground too. You know, so we have our T-Series tactical droid now. All of the individual personnel expansions that you see in here are going to have the 1 hit point identifier on there because of the fact that they can go in a B2 unit, and the B2s have 2 hit points automatically. So you don't necessarily want all of these guys that have a fixed cost getting a free extra hit point by being there. That's kind of why that 1 is going to be there. But he's going to have his own. He's going to have that red die. So if you put him into your B1s or whatever, it's actually a nice little sidearm. Then that means basically he can't use sidearm range. Is going to mean that he has to use his weapon in ranged combat. He won't be able to use, you know, the weapon of the unit as a whole. But yeah, you're gonna lose AI attack, which is gonna be nice, and you're gonna gain reliable 1, and he'll become your leader. You've got the EV series medical droid, which is, you know, he's not that expensive for a medical droid. He's only gonna be 14 points, and he's gonna be healing stuff. Look at this guy; he's trying to heal Grievous, right? But that's the good thing about this is guy's gonna be better in the older style builds where you are running commanders that need to be healed, or operatives, like somebody to heal Maul, somebody to heal Grievous, somebody to heal Dooku. This is what you're going to want for stuff like that. But, you know, maybe you want your worker droid, your repair guy. I absolutely love this art, by the way. He's got this little droid kind of picking up the B1 head after the Battle of Geonosis, perhaps, or something like that. It kind of mirrors, you know, young Boba picking up his daddy's helmet after the end of the battle on Geonosis, which I kind of get some of that. He's like, oh, I can fix you, you know. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, he's gonna have repair 1 capacity 2, also non-combatant like his friend. They're both non-combatants. And then instead of comms, because this is the first one to kind of change things up a little bit, because we don't need comms on our droids because they come with comms already, right? So we don't really need that. It's not really such a big thing. Instead, we got the Viper Recon droid, which is a really cool personnel. For one, he's got sidearm range. He's got 2 white dice. So, like, he's actually not bad in a B1 unit. I'm like, wow, I can add this guy to a B1 unit, and all of a sudden, now I get an extra die. So you can really get a lot of dice with a fully loaded B1 unit. I kind of like that. He's only 8 points. That's not too bad. He has Observe 2 as well, which we're using those new observation tokens, which are super cool because you put those on an enemy unit and anybody can spend those. So they do go away at the end of the round, though. So he's giving you a different action. I think, look, because here's what I think. If he's in a B1 unit that's got somebody at range 3, he can't attack anyway, so that's maybe when you consider using the observation tokens. But if you happen to get into range 2, you definitely want to attack. I mean, there's nothing to stop you from attacking and using observe, but a lot of times AI or the desire to aim before you attack is going to kind of supersede that. So I guess it kind of depends on what kind of stuff you're running, but I like the functionality. I think I'm more impressed by the extra die than the observe tokens. And granted, I probably shouldn't be, because as many white dice as a droid army is likely to roll, those observe tokens are probably going to come in more handy than the 2 extra dice on this particular run. But who knows? I mean, it's two dice either way, right? I like the aim token though. I mean, it's 2 rerolls now or 2 rerolls later. You know, I guess it depends on if Maul or some other Jedi's get somebody who's in off defensive stance that maybe wants to attack and still get rerolls. You know, that's kind of the thing. But if I'm running Maul, then I probably already have my other droids. Yeah, so I don't know. This guy's cool. He's kind of versatile, so I kind of like that. We also have our new command cards. So Mechanized Incursion. Again, we're talking about the Battle of Naboo. I really hope we get Gungans sooner rather than later. This just would be really cool. It's our 1 pip. It's for a vehicle, and it's going to mirror the Republic's version. After a friendly vehicle unit is issued an order, choose a friendly droid trooper unit range 1 of 2 and issue them an order. This allows you to put a vehicle in your chain, play a 1 pip, and not miss your whole B1 battle droid chain from being activated, which is a pretty good idea. I kind of like that. And the cool thing about this one too, if you use the staffs, they have that whole relay thing too. And so, you know, this doesn't like supersede relay. It's after they're issued an order, then you get to do something else. And if they relay that, I think you still get to do the second part. And just like the clones, we get an orbital strike here. It's going to work pretty much the same way, although the attack is going to be a little different. So once this round, at the end of the activation of a friendly commander droid, trooper, or a friendly field commander unit, it may perform an attack using this weapon. It's going to be also that infinite range, but starting at range 4. But it's going to be more dice. It's 2 red and 2 black, and it's going to be suppressive, which is nice. It doesn't have beams, so you're not going to get as many dice, but a suppressive attack is a very nice thing. Another kind of interesting thing about this is if you happen to have a friendly droid trooper unit that's a commander and a field commander, you get a little more flexibility on when you want to use this, I think. It's kind of cool. And then our third card, our 3-pip, is Roger. It's also going to be 3 droid troopers. And when a unit is issued an order using this card, so same caveats as the other one, it gains either a dodge or a surge token. So you don't have the option to remove suppression here, although droids aren't quite as inhibited by suppression as organics happen to be. Or you get some more options. You can get a dodge or a surge. So that could be nice, although a lot of times I don't always want a dodge, but maybe we'll see new droid troopers in the future that do even better with dodges. You know, I kind of wish I could give Grievous an order with here so to trigger his block keyword, but can't quite do that just yet. But still, it's not a bad card. 3 droid troopers is decent, and the fact that it's giving them something a little extra is very nice. And plus, they don't have that many ways to get surge also, so that can be useful as well. If you think they're going to attack, go for the surge. If you know they're only going to defend, then go for the dodge. Or if they've got some kind of mechanic that triggers off of dodge, like nimble or block or something like that, then consider dodge. We also got to look at Inspiring Presence, which we've kind of already seen leaked before, which is going to come in these packs. It's going to let you, friendly units at range 1 to 4 use your courage value when checking whether they can be panicked. And it can still be reduced, so if you got War Weary or something like that, that will reduce it, but you're still going to get a little bit. I think like it's a good kind of counter against the War Weary card, but also it's really good for people that have those Courage 3 commanders, so I don't think it's necessarily super good on any of these particular guys, but it's still nice. And then we also have Vigilance. During the end phase, choose either a friendly trooper unit at range 1 to 2 or up to 2 friendly core trooper units at range 1 to 2. Each of the chosen units does not remove a dodge token. So I like this card actually quite a bit. I like for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is you don't have to be the nominated commander to do this, to make this one work, which a lot of command cards do. So if you're running multiple commanders, this could be a really cool way to make the one who didn't go this turn as still having a cool card. And it's a passive effect, so it's like always going to work. But really, being able to keep a dodge token is a really nice deal. This is good for either faction. Like, for example, if the droids wanted to play that 3-pip and get some dodges out there and they ended up not needing them, this is a way for you to keep them until they are needed. And this could work over and over again because you don't have to exhaust this card. So you can take a dodge first round and keep it until you need it, which I especially like. But the other thing is, you're probably going to use this for core, but you can use this for one other person, for other troopers. So this can also work for like a Jedi or something like that, or a Force user that wants that dodge for deflect or block as well. This could be really good for that. I foresee this card being taken in a lot of different build setups because it does have that versatility to work for like a powered unit or for double the amount of core units. And if you ran 2 of these on like maybe 2 commanders, you can have your whole army keeping dodges the whole time, especially on clones where they can share them. Oh my gosh, that could be sick. But yeah, this is exciting. There's a lot of new possibilities that are coming out of these expansions. So I'm looking forward to it. We got about 3 weeks to go. So let me know what you guys think. And hit me up down in the comments section. Big thanks to all of you guys that have been checking out my videos, hanging out with me, and that have joined the Discord lately. There's a lot to talk about, and I love to talk with you guys there in Discord. So be sure to check that out. Big thanks to my patrons as well. You guys are awesome, and definitely help make this channel continue and help make everything possible. So big thank you to you guys as well. And that's about all I got for today. I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.